Back at you live from Dallas, Texas with more FIVB World League volleyball action. The USA leads Russia 1-0 after a 35-33 thriller in the first set. Stats from that first set there on your screen. The USA leading in kills 20-15. Russia up in the blocking category 6-3 as well as aces 2-1. 9 service errors for Russia to 7 from the US. And the US made more attacking errors 9-5, which includes getting blocked. We saw many of those early on in the first set before the U.S. made a little bit of their miniature run to come back and tie the game late before finally winning it 35-33 on a back row kill by Taylor Sander. Crowd here in Dallas, Texas, absolutely loving this atmosphere. Like I mentioned earlier, this event is held concurrently with the USA Volleyball's Boys Junior Nationals, so many of the boys players here in the evening when they're not playing, checking out the highest level volleyball action available for them in the U.S. Who knows, some of your national team stars from 10 years from now might be here in the audience today. Teams back out on the court for set number 2. Looks like no lineup changes for the U.S. side. Murphy Troy still in at the opposite for Matt Anderson, getting the day off today. You see the first set's leaders. Taylor Sander with 9 points, all on kills. Viktor Poletayev, 9 kills, 2 blocks for him. Taylor Sander, number 3, and Weidel started the second set off back at the service line. Looks like the same lineup again for Russia in the second set. Cut serve short handled by Verbov. And touch detected off the top of the triple block. Good high swing by Igor Kliuka, the 21-year-old. Tough chance there off the tough pass, but Sergey Grankin able to get to that ball, throw it just high enough for the 6'11" Kliuka to reach the high hands. Alexander Volkov first back to the line, had a good service run early in the first set, including 2 aces. Dials up another one handled by Sander. First swing in the second set for Aaron Russell, a good one, high down the line. Foot or 2 inside the end line. Great swing by the young man. Yeah, pretty easy to take advantage of that single block. Mazursky way late getting out to the right side. David Lee back to the line, the float server. Handled by Kliuka again. Mazursky just positively destroys that ball to his power shot to his right. Real tough to stop that. Max Holt, late or slow in committing. The problem is that anything other than your full jump is not going to stop the 7'2" Dmitry Mazursky as he pounds that ball to the floor. Russia up 2-1 early on second set. Poletayev handled by Shoji. Set low to Russell, tipped off the block, kept alive. Good roll shot that hits off the block and falls. Good communication by the U.S. side. You could hear someone yell there telling Aaron Russell to roll shot around this giant triple block. And it tips just over off Dmitry Mazursky's hands and it falls harmlessly to the floor on Russia's side. Smart play by the U.S., tied at 2-2. Murphy Troy, number 9 in white, back to the line out of St. Louis, Missouri, and University of Southern California. Good serve. Russia in big trouble here. Big bump set to the outside for Kliuka. Tips over the top. Handled by Troy. Christensen to Max Holt in the middle in transition. Absolutely crushed. What a fantastic transition run by the young setter Micah Christensen and the freak athlete Max Holt in the middle. Just one step in transition. Off the net, back on. Great job being available and ready for Christensen to set him. And he puts that ball away with authority. That all started with the tough serve by Murphy Troy that had to be tipped over by Kliuka and the Russians. Troy back to serve once again. Gets it off the tape that time. Handled to Mazursky again. That ball's inbounds right on the sideline. Really nice pull across to his left. Mazursky showing his range. Hit to his right on the last one. That one back to his left, both on the 31 set. Russia trying to create some separation with their hitters. Off the block and out of bounds by Aaron Russell. That way to keep the ball high into that block. Point for the U.S. side, up 4-3 early on second set. We'll see a jump float serve coming from Aaron Russell here from the left back corner of the court, number 2 in white. 6'9" outside hitter out of Penn State University. Serve just drifts long. Devies looked awfully unsure about that one, but his libero Verbov authoritatively called that one out of bounds, which it was by just a foot or two. Dmitry Mazursky, the middle blocker, back to serve. 7'2", 27 years of age, playing for Belgorod in Russia. Serves that one well out of bounds, no harm done there. USA up 5-4 early on here in the second set. Max Holt, number 17 in white, back to serve. Interesting to see what he dials up from the service line this time. Right into the middle of the net. Definitely a miss hit there by Holt. He's not going to be happy about that one. Showed you the libero in the red off-color jersey for the U.S. back into the game for the middle blocker. Sergei Grankin back to serve. Handled by Russell, set back to Troy. Put away cross court nicely out of the back row by Murphy Troy, the opposite, 6'8". Good set there, Pry Christensen. Moving to his right, setting back to his left. We call that setting against the grain. Setters will often do that to disguise their set a little bit more. It is obviously more difficult, but Christensen, one of the best in the world at it at this very young age. Interesting serve choice by Christensen that time. Tossing it like his normal serve, but coming out with a float. Free ball from Russia. Out to Taylor Sander, and he is stuffed straight down by Mazursky Volkov and Devies on the right side. That's one way to get out of rotation one right there. Devies, great job reaching back into the cross court. Clamps that one straight down. Like I said, that serve by Micah Christensen, he tossed it the same way with his left hand like he usually does, as if he was going to hit it hard with topspin, but hit it with a float. That's kind of an evolution of the game that we're seeing. Some guys picking up hybrid serves. Crushed out of the back row that time by Aaron Russell. Outstanding shot, kind of leaning to his left with the set and cutting that back to his right. Back to the hybrid serve, like I was saying, if you watch Poland play at all, they have a middle by the name of Mateusz Biniek. Very young player, I think about 6'11", does a hybrid serve where he tosses it the same way and can choose to hit it with top spin or float, whichever he chooses at the time. Awkward set by Christensen that time. Russell reaches way back to put that one away cross court. That set drifted a little further off the net than Russell was expecting, but he reaches back anyway, and his 6'9" frame allowed him to snap that one cross court down to the floor. USA first to 8 points, then technical timeout. USA up 8-6 early on set number 2. One player you haven't seen today for Russia, and you won't see this whole World League tournament, but you can expect to see in Rio de Janeiro, is 40-year-old Sergei Tatukin, the legendary outside hitter, attempting to play in his 5th Olympic Games, something that's absolutely never been done by an indoor men's player before him. Been on the national team for so many years, and such a consistent player, even at 40 years of age, of elite caliber outside hitter. Russia definitely misses his veteran presence in this World League, but Alekno knows what's important. He has his eye on the real prize in Rio and is doing what he can to keep his team healthiest throughout the World League in order to get to Rio for the real games, the real goal in the Olympic Games, excuse me. Taylor Sander back to serve. Handled by Volkov, the middle blocker. Good set disguise, and Poletayev pounds that one off the block and out of bounds. Volkov, after handling that serve, back to the service line. Handled by Shoji. Back to Murphy Troy. Blocked but covered well by Taylor Sander. Another high ball, triple block opportunity. Tip covered well by Christensen. Another off-chance swing by Murphy Troy, and it rolls it down to the floor. Excellent shot there to get out of jail, so to speak. He rolls it right in front of the setter, Sergei Grandkin, around the triple block. Yep. Good shot control there. Catches Grandkin kind of playing defense on his heels. That ball clearly down. While that play happened, you cannot challenge ball up or down off the floor. That is a referee judgment call. That instance has come up a couple times in this World League in the past couple years. That cannot be challenged. Awkward free ball there, back to Russia. Poletayev blocked and in the deep corner. Couldn't be covered that time by Grandkin. So the USA gets bailed out for not converting a pretty easy free ball opportunity. Good block move there by Max Holt, and that ball just finds the court towards the back line. USA up 10-7 over Russia, also 1-0. David Lee back to the service line. 34-year-old out of Long Beach State University. Good block touch up to 31 that time. USA picking up on that scouting report. Russell's dug in the backcourt by Davies. Wow, good luck stopping that. Shades of Brazil, Lucas Satkamp and Bruno Rezende running that back quick to perfection. You see it there between Grandkin and Mazurski. They have such chemistry, have played together for so many years. And Grandkin knows that he can flick that ball back to Mazurski just about wherever he's standing. He'll jump off of pretty much no approach and be able to put that ball away. Almost impossible to block that set. Poletayev serve handled well by Sander. That ball set way too low by Christensen, tipped over by Aaron Russell, and the lift is called. Very interesting. I thought they might have called off the antenna or something, but that ball clearly inbounds. Micah Christensen arguing that that lift is not being called evenly for both teams. Let's see this one again. Could have gone either way off the left hand of Aaron Russell. Definitely a setting error that time by Christensen. And he makes up for it that time with a fantastic athletic back set to Max Holt. We see the back quick again. Micah Christensen pushed across the net to his left, gets up and is athletic towards a tight pass, and Holt up on time, able to find the way around Mazurski that time to the floor in front of Alexei Vervov. Murphy Troy back to serve, leading 11-9. Missed that one well out of bounds. '21-year-old Igor Kliuka back to serve. Number 19 in blue, 6'11", plays club for Fakel in Russia. Serve just missed out of bounds. Thinking about a challenge. Don't believe they'll take one. USA up 12-10. That ball hit out of bounds by Poletayev. He doesn't think so. I think they're thinking about a challenge here. And Vladimir Alekno will indeed challenge this ball. Ball caught out of bounds. He will challenge that the ball was in. That is very, very close. It looks just out of bounds to me on the slow motion replay, but the Hawkeye system will tell all. Your audio there, you can hear Micah Christensen still talking to the referee about that lift call on Aaron Russell a couple points ago. Important for him to let it go and keep playing on the set if you argue too much with the officials. And that ball just out of bounds. Very close, but Alekno and Russia are down one challenge. They have one more remaining for this second set. USA has not used one. They still have two. Once again, you have two challenges per team per set. If you win your challenge, you keep it. So theoretically, you have infinite challenges as long as you get them all correct. Russell with the float serve ace off the hands of Lucas Divis. I told you he's been switching it up from his typical jump topspin serve. That serve is very effective. When you have the float serve coming from such a high contact point, like him and David Lee both have, that serve is nasty the way it knuckles. And Divis steps up, tried to take it with his hands, and couldn't handle it that time. USA up 14-10. And he comes back with a service error right into the net, but the damage has been done. Russia down 3 points, 11-14, midway through the second set. Russia needs a run here, and this could be the man to do it from the service line. We've seen Mazursky do it before. But he returns it with yet another service error. Not a good mistake. Obviously, a service error is always negative. You lose a point right away, or rather the other team gets a point right away. But especially after the other team just misses a serve, you don't want to give them a freebie right back. You must take advantage. And teams give you opportunities to score points. Max Holt back to the line here. Great serve, Uzanaz from the crowd. And a dig by Holt in the back row. High ball set to Troy. Dug by Poletayev. Yep, setter dump coming from Grantkin. Dug well by Troy. High ball out to Taylor Sander. And off the block. And out of bounds just outside the sideline on the U.S. side. Really smart swing by Taylor Sander off the high ball. Tough chance, keeping that ball high up into the block. Ricochets just out of bounds. Saw a good serve there and an equally good dig by Max Holt in the back row. And a good read defensively by Murphy Troy on the setter dump on Sergei Grantkin. Grantkin on that play is a front row player, and he is therefore eligible to attack the ball. He does there, but Murphy Troy read it right away and dug that ball up. It's transition for a point for the U.S. Second technical timeout, scores 16-11. The U.S. on a little run here. Russia's really got to push back. Being down in a 2-set-0 hole is not where you want to be, especially without your full veteran lineup who has done it before. But I will remind you of a time that Russia's made such a comeback. The gold medal match at the 2012 Olympic Games, down 2-0 to Brazil, fighting off the gold medal, and Brazil had a couple match points, which Russia fought off, brought it back all the way to the fifth set, and won the gold medal from down 2-0 to up 3-2, including the coaching change by Alekno, putting Mazursky at the opposite, widely regarded as one of the greatest volleyball coaching decisions of all time. Max Holt back to serve, 16-11 U.S. out of the second technical timeout, and that's an ace right out of the timeout, splits the passes between Divis and Kliuka. Outstanding serve control by Max Holt. You see, as hard as you can hit a jump serve, if you hit it right at a player, they can handle it just as easily most of the time. Great work splitting the two passers, causing some miscommunication between the two. And Kliuka is substituted out of the match here, the young player, not getting a chance to remain in for the rest of this set. Likely we'll see him in the next one, but in the meantime, Dmitry Volkov, 21-year-old outside hitter, the younger brother of the middle blocker, Alexander Volkov, into the match to stabilize some serve reception. If you're Max Holt, you go right after him, and he does. Good touch off the block, dug by Taylor Sander. Oh my goodness, that ball is positively crushed by Alexander Volkov on a very unconventional approach path. Look at the way he stutter steps to his left, runs in completely along the net, completely fools David Lee, and crushes that ball to about the 11 or 12 foot mark. He loves that when you saw his laughter after the play. There's the Bick again, high off the hands by Aaron Russell and well out of bounds. Point to the U.S., up 18-12. Comfortable lead here by the Americans. Setter Micah Christensen back to serve. Murphy Troy the opposite back into the front row once again. Christensen, number 11 in white. 22-year-old setter out of USC, Honolulu, Hawaii. Plays for Lube Macerata in Italy. One of the top club teams in the world. Good block touch, run down by Shoji, excellent defensive play. And a net violation is called. Net violation is called on Taylor Sander there, had to run under run under a very tight ball and try to tap it over the block without committing any violations, and he does so. There's a good look at the excellent defensive rundown by Eric Shoji. Tough chance there, point for Russia. Score is 18-13. Russia down 5 in set number 2. Lucas Divas back to serve, 30-year-old, 6'7" outside hitter, plays for Lokomotiv Novosibirsk in Russia. Soon to be the teammate of Eric Shoji and Kavika Shoji. Meanwhile, David Lee crushing that ball to his right out of the middle. We haven't heard much from Lee offensively this evening. Good wrist away action there, up in front of the block. Alexander Volkov late getting up on that one. Easy put away by Lee. Questionable one-handed set there. You could argue a lift needed to be called there. But no matter, Murphy Troy high off the hands and out of bounds. Doing a much better job this set, keeping the ball high, using the block to his advantage instead of hitting into the meat of it and getting stuff blocked. Hits high into the hands of the brother blocking duo there of the Volkovs. Vladimir Olekno uses his first team timeout. Down 7 in the second set. This set basically out of reach for Russia. He's trying to get his team back in gear, get some momentum built towards the third set rather. Even if you're not going to win this set, volleyball is such a momentum sport that it's very important to start making some plays here and feel emotionally like you have a chance going into the third. While the score resets at this rate, the momentum will be all on the United States side heading into set 3. Excellent turnout in the crowd in Dallas tonight. You see some great spirit shown by the American fans. This is about the best pro-U.S. crowd that the U.S. will play in front of all summer long. Out of the timeout, served by Taylor Sander. Good block touch on the outside. Another good touch and dug by Sander. Kept alive by Shoji, but out of bounds. Couldn't be brought back into the playing area there. Dmitry Volkov registers the kill for Russia, down 14-20. Good hustle there by Shoji, getting nicely acquainted with the walls on the side of the court there. Cut short serve handled easily by Shoji. And ball is hit as hard as he can by Aaron Russell, but just out of bounds into the cross court. Good shot choices. David Lee took the middle blocker, creating some separation, running that back quick we talked about earlier. Gave Russell a one-on-one to the outside. That ball just missed out of bounds in the hard cross court angle. Alexander Volkov back to the service line again. Hits that one hard that time. Pass low but handled. Pancake couldn't be made by Poletayev there. Tipped to the floor by David Lee. Good set there by Christensen, handling a low sort of bullet pass. Flicks it back up to David Lee, and he finds the floor on the tip shot. Poletayev not ready for that one in the off-blocker defensive position. USA up a comfortable 6, 21-15 here, set 2. David Lee back to the line. Bad pass by Volkov, have to be bump set by the libero. Handled easily, transition opportunity here, and the back one works once again to Max Holt. Excellent running of the offense by the young setter, Micah Christensen. Holt doing well to be available on that one. Good dig by Taylor Sander, putting Christensen exactly where he wants to be to run the offense, and not a blocker in the world up to stop Max Holt there. 22-15, USA coasting to a comfortable set 2 win, it would seem. Serve off the tape, pancaked well by Dmitry Mazursky, but couldn't be kept alive. Mazursky should be frustrated that his teammates couldn't keep that good effort alive off the floor. But that let serve off the tape tends to create a lot of chaos. There's a good look at it again. Wow, interesting choice, and for his effort, Mazursky gets subbed out there for Artem Volvich, 26-year-old, 7'0" middle blocker. Some incredible height on this Russian squad. Right into the game. He sets him. Grandkin sets Volvic right away, and he hits it right into the net. Very interesting choice to set the player that has just come on in the match. Typically ice cold, a very, very tough position to be in. Not a good set choice there by Grandkin, and gives the U.S. their first set point. First of many, up 24-15. Good dig in the hard cross court by Russell. Going to get a swing here. High off the hands, handed to the back court by Davies. Another swing for Volkov. And he turns it down the line off the block, and Christensen comes up too far forward to handle that one. Good swing by the 21-year-old. Point for Russia, staves off the first of many set points. The left-hander Viktor Poletayev back to serve. 20 years old, 6'5", played for Zenit Kazan this past year with many of his Russian national team teammates, and as well as Matt Anderson for his national team coach, Vladimir Olekno. Good pass there. Bad set by Christensen that time, trying to force the 31 to Max Holt. Over-rotates just a little, and the set travels over the net and out of bounds. Set point number 3 here for the U.S. Poletayev again back to serve. And he sprays it well out of bounds. That'll give the second set to the U.S. The score of 25-17. U.S. up a comfortable 2-0, trying to close off the World League preliminary round in style over Russia, the defending Olympic champions. Russia seems awfully out of sorts and down on themselves, down in a 2-0 hole, going to make a serious comeback to come within winning this match in 5 sets. We will step aside. You'll see some highlights from the previous 2 sets of action. Back in a moment from Dallas, Texas. Back live from Dallas, Texas, the USA up 2-0 over Russia in the final match of the FIVB World League preliminary round. The USA has already booked a spot in the finals in Krakow, Poland. Russia needs to come back to win this match and needs some serious help if they have a chance at the finals. Easy win for the US last set, 25-17, leading 15-8 in the kills category. The Russian offense really struggling from the pins, while the middles were outstanding and nearly unstoppable from both teams. The pin hitters for Russia struggled to get going. We didn't see a whole lot of Viktor Poletayev in the offensive end that last set for Russia. It was much more the outside hitters, which could be attributed to poor service reception. We saw Igor Kliuka, the outside hitter, subbed out towards the end of the set for the younger Dmitry Volkov, mostly due to service reception, but Volkov struggled to hold his own in the offensive area. You'll likely see the same lineup here for the U.S. side. Interesting to see if Vladimir Olekno for Russia makes any changes going into this third set. So I see Artem Volvic staying in the game, as well as Alexander Volkov. So Dmitry Mazursky has been taken out in favor of Artem Volvic. 26-year-old middle blocker, plays for Zenit Kazan in Russia. Also 7'0". Interesting decision, though. It was hard for me to see what Mazursky did to deserve being taken out of the game. I didn't think he struggled too terribly, unless it was on the blocking end, not making enough plays. But anyway, Volvic in the game. Rest of the lineup for Russia is the same. Igor Kliuka back into the match. Russia starting off this set serving. Luka Stevies, number 2 in blue, getting the third set underway for Russia. Handled well by Taylor Sander. Dumped to the floor by Micah Christensen. Excellent play by the young setter. The first one of those that we've seen from him this match. We saw one from Grantkin earlier that was dug. Christensen at 6'6", fully ambidextrous, like I mentioned earlier. Completely coordinated with that left hand and disguises that one well to the very last second before throwing it to the floor. Max Holt back to serve. That ball's in. That's an ace from Max Holt right on the end line. Holt really heating up from the service line throughout this match and throughout this tournament at large. If he can do this from the line in the World League Finals or in Rio in the Olympics, the U.S. is going to be a very, very hard team to beat. Holt again, number 17 in white. The USA up 2 sets to none and 2-0 here in the third. Set back to Poletaev. Off the block, couldn't be handled in the cross court by Christensen. The Russia's on the board. Down 1-2. Alexander Volkov, the middle blocker, back to serve for Russia. Serve handled off the top of the tape, set to David Lee in the middle. Put away nicely to his right on the sideline, around the block and around Alexander Volkov on defense. Excellent swing by Lee, known as one of the very premier middle blockers in the world in the blocking area of the game. His attacking has really developed since he came into the national team many years ago at Long Beach State University. Micah Christensen back to serve. Handled easily by Verbov. And put away by Artem Volvic for his first point of the match. Volvic, the likely future of the middle blocking position for Russia. Alexander Volkov's 31, Mazursky's 27, Artem Volvic at 26, but they'll have those 3 towers in the lineup for a very long time still. Viktor Poletaev, number 15 in blue, back to the line. That serve barely stays on the Russian side, almost trickled over the net. Point to the USA nonetheless, up 4-2 here in set number 3. Number 3 in white, Taylor Sander back to the line. 6'5" outside hitter out of Brigham Young University, Fountain Valley, California. Will play his second professional season, first in Beijing, China this upcoming year as he misses that serve out of bounds. Named World League Finals Most Valuable Player 2 years ago in 2014 when the USA won gold in that event. It was Sanders' first year in the international scene and absolutely exploded. Everyone knew his name by the end of that season. Igor Kliuka back to serve for Russia. Handled by Eric Shoji. High ball set outside to Aaron Russell. Touched off the block and handled by Russia. That ball looked to be missed out of bounds by Luka Stevies, asking for a touch. We might have a challenge here by Olekno. He elects not to listen to his players and challenge that one. So the USA keeps the point up 5-3. That ball clearly out of bounds beyond the end line, but you couldn't really see the touch off the block, whether it hit them or not. Point nonetheless. Fantastic set that time by Grantkin. Ball low and off the net. Dips down low, flicks it over his right shoulder to Artem Volvic, who did well to be available for that one. Puts it away around 2 blockers. Volvic back to serve. You'll see a jump float serve here, working from left to right. Tough one for Russell to handle. He's going to have to take a high swing here. Great work keeping that high off the hands. Ricochets well out of bounds. Russell atones for his passing mistake by scoring a point on the offensive end. Fantastic set there by Christensen, running all the way across the net, off the court even, flicking that ball high up exactly where Russell needs it. High, just a few feet off the net, a few feet inside the antenna. Excellent set location by Christensen. That is a very close serve, but just out of bounds by Murphy Troy. Russia down only 1, 5 serving 6 here, set number 3. Sergei Grantkin, the veteran setter, back to serve, 31 years of age, plays his club in Dynamo Moscow. Odd effort there by Kliuka, but his 6'11" frame keeps it alive. Free ball to the United States. Back to Troy once again and pounded down the line for an excellent swing for Murphy Troy. 27 years of age, out of USC, St. Louis, Missouri, plays his club in Poland in Gdansk, where he's one of the top scorers in the Polish league last year. Has really improved his game playing overseas in the Polish league, getting to play against top-level competition. Russia's challenging this play. It looks like they're challenging ball in and out on the graphic. Looked clear to me that ball was inside the end line. Olekno perhaps just trying to slow down some momentum. Yep, clearly in there. Very interesting use of a challenge. Russia down to 1 challenge remaining for the second set. USA up 7 serving 5. 1 point away from the technical timeout. That float serve missed wide by Aaron Russell. Interesting style choice by Davies with the tight, short sleeve black shirt underneath his blue jersey. Not a look I would go with. Shoot set to Max Holt, kept alive on the tip by Verbov. What an athletic play by Micah Christensen. That is incredible. You will not see very many other setters in the world even capable of making that play. Passed off Taylor Sander off an easy free ball. Christensen fully ambidextrous, like I said. You'll see him hitting the ball with his right hand from the service line. But an athletic and full-looking arm swing with his left hand putting that ball away on the offensive end. He's a front row player. It's fully legal. Great look at it on the replay there. Beats both the blockers. A spectacular skill and coordination out of this young setter. First technical timeout reached by the U.S. Up 8-6 here, set number 3. The U.S. here, even without star opposite Matt Anderson, seems to be firing on all cylinders in a mostly meaningless match heading into the World League Finals for them in a couple of weeks. Russia struggling with emotional level and momentum here, can't quite make the plays required to stay with this American team. Down 2 points only, though, here in set 3. Max Holt back to the line. Dangerous server today. Puts a lot of pressure on. That ball's out of bounds for another ace for Holt. I don't have the statistics in front of me. I can't tell you how many aces that is for Holt, but let's see. I think 2 last set, 2 this set, and then 1 off the tape in the first. That might be 5 aces for Holt. An outstanding performance from the service line. And the same substitution for Russia we saw in the last set. Kliuka coming out in favor of Dmitry Volkov, the young outside hitter, trying to stabilize the service reception pattern for Russia. Holt back to the line again. No way, he got another one off the top of the tape in the exact same spot as set number 1. Lucky serve for Max Holt, but he will take it, adding to his very impressive service stats on the day. Grantkin thinking, you gotta be kidding me, I can't be ready for that all the time. Wow, just shows you how hard he hits that ball, that it hits the tape that hard and just barely trickles over like that. Holt once again off the tape, handled by Volkov. Set back to Volkov. Good touch by Micah Christensen, but couldn't be handled by Troy in the back row. Good side out that time by the Russians. Dmitry Volkov's older brother Alexander, the middle blocker, back to serve. Good swing by Murphy Troy out of the back row, working around a big double block. Finds the kill off Sergey Grankin in the hard cross-court angle. Excellent arm swing control by Murphy Troy. Micah Christensen back to serve with 4 points. A good afternoon for a setter. Has his offense running at a very high level, very efficient attacking from his hitters. Goes with the float serve there and buries it right in the middle of the net. Apologizes to his teammates for that one. 8 serving 11 for Russia. Victor Poletaia back to serve. Haven't heard a lot from him since the first set. This kid absolutely jumps out of the gym. Heavy arm swing by Troy. Tries to pull it down the line and just too far out of bounds. Another point on serve for the Russians, trying to make a push at the U.S.'s lead here. Poletaia misses that one into the net. Lets the Americans off the hook just a little bit. Outside hitter Taylor Sander back to the service line. You see those ace to error statistics. That makes 6 aces and now 16 errors for the U.S. Only 2 aces and 15 errors for Russia. Not a good ratio for the Russians. That's about 1 ace for every 7 errors. The U.S. with something like 1 ace for every 3 errors. A much better ratio. We used to say 1 ace to every 2 errors is your goal. But at the game, the level that it is right now, a lot of coaches will accept easily 1 ace to every 3 errors. Ball handling error there by Micah Christensen. Lifted the very tough chance. Ball passed way to his right. Point on serve by Dmitry Volkov in Russia. Down only 1, 11-12. Set again to David Lee, covered by himself, kept alive. Tight ball here to Aaron Russell. That has to be a lift, and yes, it is indeed called. No, absolutely no sense complaining about that one by Russia. They should step away from the referee. That is about as egregious of a lift as I've seen in a long time. Volvic absolutely mangled that one. As of recently, it is permissible to double contact the first ball, but you still cannot lift the first contact. Oh yeah, absolutely a lift there by Volvic. Volvic comes right back from that ball handling error with a crush out of the middle. 12 serving 13 for Russia. Some frustration in that swing. Great swing by Aaron Russell, high over the top of the hands of Sergey Grankin. Grankin at 6'5", good sized setter, but not compared to the 6'9" Aaron Russell. Getting up and pounding that one high off the blocker's hands down the line. Couldn't be kept alive by the middle back defender. 14 serving 12 for the U.S. Up 2 sets to none. Murphy Troy back to the line. Trying to put this one away. Misses that serve into the net. Point possession back to Russia. 13 serving 14. Setter Sergey Grankin back to serve. Handled by Russell. Set out to Russell. Kept alive brilliantly by the libero Alexei Verbov, and free balls it over. Middle here. Nope, back to Troy with no blockers. And that ball's kept alive as well, but not for long as the U.S. scores a point off the free ball in transition. Really good set that time by Micah Christensen. Done a good job establishing the middle attackers this match. Had 2 blockers jump with Max Holt and flicked it back to Murphy Troy in the back row. Excellent set choice, and Troy puts it away. 15 serving 13, 1 point away from the technical timeout here for the U.S. And Dmitry Mazursky comes back in, replacing Alexander Volkov. I don't think Vladimir Olekno is happy with the way his middle blockers are reading the game on the blocking end, as Volkov definitely got burned by the set choice by Christensen last time. Tough pass here out to Politaev on the left side in rotation 1. Dug in the backcourt by Eric Shoji. Brilliant play. And Troy puts it away across court and can't be kept alive. Good effort by Dmitry Volkov in the back row. Runs all the way into the wall, trying to kick save that ball back into play. But as it is, the USA scores the 16th point. Into the technical timeout we go, up 16-13. The US trying to put away the sweep. Good look at the excellent dig that time by the fine young libero Eric Shoji, number 22 in red. And that ball too hot to handle for Sergei Grantkin. Be back in a moment. Back to action here in Dallas. USA leading 16-13 the third set, up 2 sets to none. Trying to put away this sweep of the defending Olympic champions, Russia. Served that time by Aaron Russell. That ball is absolutely destroyed by Dmitry Mazursky going to his right. Great swing by the big man. Lucas Stevie's smart cut serve to his right, handled very well by Aaron Russell. Tipped by Murphy Troy, covered in the back row by Politaev. Who also, Russia has to tip that one over as well. Taylor Sander with a swing. Hit into the net, can't find his way around the block by, was Taylor Sander. Russia brings it within 1, down 15-16 only. Good sprawling dig there by Viktor Politaev. Good idea on the roll shot by Sander, just missed it pretty badly into the net. If that had gone over, the nice little zone 4 to zone 4, thumb down sort of shot. Could have fooled the left back defender, but couldn't get it over the net that time. DV Spec to serve again. Nice athletic play by Christensen to get a good block touch on the overpass, and that ball is stuffed absolutely straight down by Max Holt, one-on-one on the right side. What was he even doing over there? What a ridiculous play. Oh my goodness, that is one for the highlight reel. Christensen out of the play because he was over to the left side of the net, making the previous block touch. Max Holt does the entire blocking job by himself on the right, stuffing Dmitry Volkov absolutely straight down. Incredible play there. Awkward stoppage of play here. Oh, interesting. Russia's trying to call timeout, which you signal nowadays by pressing a button on the tablet, the iPad provided on the sidelines. The iPad not working. Russia trying to call timeout manually like the old-fashioned way. Don't think, nope, didn't give it to him though. Max Holt back to the service line, absolutely unloads on that one. Oh, and Grantkin with the wily old setter trick. What a smart play by the veteran setter. Goes up to attempt to get the tight ball and pulls his hands away at the last second, knowing that ball is going to go over the plane of the net onto the American side. Nothing Taylor Sander could do about that one. Dmitry Mazursky back to the service line for Russia, down 16-17 only. Handled well by Eric Shoji. There's the pipe attack again. Aaron Russell out of the back row. We haven't seen a whole lot of that in sets 2 and 3, but it works to perfection that time. Well executed off the block by Russell. Like I mentioned earlier, John Spiraz said that the U.S. wants to run like 40% of their offense, give or take, out of the middle of the court. That includes the pipe attackers, as well as Max Holt and David Lee out of the middle. Christensen obviously knows what his coach expects of him, except there as he misses that serve barely out of bounds. 17 serving 18 for the Russians. Serve hit hard by Poletayev, handled by Shoji. Very tight set, had to be tipped over by Murphy Troy. Poletayev out of the back row is stuffed straight down. That ball is not kept alive by Grandkin. That is a good block by the Americans. Troy getting credit for a solo stuff by the announcer in-house here in Dallas. Looked like David Lee was at least with the play somewhat. Definitely all Troy there. Good swing by Poletayev, keeping the ball high. That ball just found the floor in front of the outstretched hand of Sergei Grandkin. Good blocking move by Murphy Troy. Float serve that time by Taylor Sander. Excellent block touch by Troy on the right side. Good transition chance here for the Americans, and pounded out of the back row by Taylor Sander. Credit that entire play to the block touch by Murphy Troy on the right side. That ball was easily handled in the back row, and Sander comes back after passing the first ball, puts that one away to his left out of the pipe. Great transition work by the U.S. Vladimir Alekno takes a timeout, down 3 points here and giving up a little bit of a run. This is Russia's last stand, trying not to get swept in the last match of the World League preliminary round. Like I mentioned, the World League finals are in Krakow, Poland in a few weeks. The teams that have already qualified are Poland as the host, Brazil, the United States, Serbia, France, and it is between Italy and Russia. Russia, unless they win this match and Italy loses 3-0 or 3-1 today, Italy will make the finals, being ahead in points thus far. The point standings for this tournament are interesting. If you win a match 3-0 or 3-1, you earn 3 points in the standings. If you win 3-2, you get 2 points. If you lose 3-2, you get 1 point. And if you lose 3-1 or 3-0, you get 0. Interesting that they reward teams for losing in 5. Oh, and out of the timeout there, looks like we have another service ace on the float serve by Taylor Sander. Float serve short, couldn't be handled by the Russians right out of the timeout. Didn't catch all that one, but the USA leads 21-17, trying to seal the victory here in Dallas. Wow, interesting serve that time. Didn't toss it all that high, but hit it really hard like a jump serve. Dug brilliantly in the backcourt by Shoji. Stuffed absolutely straight down is Aaron Russell by Artem Volvic. Excellent blocking footwork and handwork by the big man. Grandkin pulled his hands down on the block move, interestingly there. Russell could have hit it down the line. Instead chose the tallest of the blockers. Volvic stuffs that one straight down. 18 serving 21 for Russia. Correctly chooses the line that time, Aaron Russell. Nice swing down the line off the block of Sergei Grandkin. Definitely a blocking mismatch there that the U.S. has been wanting to exploit all game, and they have to some degree. 22 serving 18. David Lee back to the line. Really good look at that swing there. Grandkin reaching back to his right. Wow, absolutely no block up on Davies as he pounds that one down the line. Free swing for him. Looked like Murphy Troy got burned by the middle set there, leaving no one up to block the outside hitter. Artem Volvic, the middle blocker, back to serve. That blocked deep but in by Mazursky and Davies on the left side, blocking Murphy Troy. Another point for Russia, 20 serving 22, trying to make a push at extra points here. And smartly, John Spera will call a timeout for the U.S. Up 2 points, but wants to mitigate the service run by Russia, wants to put this one away in straight sets.
переигровка наша. Если удобно, без защиты там. Неудобно, держит подсняд, с отблока. Поехали, давай.
The Dallas crowd getting into some queen here as the third set is about to come to a close. Not if the Russians and Artem Volvich can help it. They want to send this one to extra points. Not the way to do it there as he misses it out of bounds out of the timeout. Great timeout by John Speraw. 23 serving 20 for the U.S. Murphy Troy back to the service line. Good serve by Troy, handled well by the Russians. That ball barely couldn't be kept alive off the block by Eric Shoji. Point position back to Russia, down 21 serving 23. Russia needs at least 1 point, maybe 2 in this service rotation to stay alive in this set. Handled perfectly by Shoji. Set to Max Holt, kept alive. Oh, and the ball drops. Unforgivable mistake by Russia. Lucas Devies and Dmitry Volkov couldn't decide who was going to free ball that one over, and the ball drops. That is not the way to come back and try to win a set. Unforgivable mistake by Russia. Nonetheless, we have match point number 1 here for the U.S. 24 serving 21. Aaron Russell will have the honors, number 2 in white from the service line. That ball looked to be missed out of bounds by Poletayev. And it was indeed. The USA finishes off the 3-0 sweep of the defending Olympic champions in Russia. 25-21 the third set, 25-17 and 35-33 were the other two set scores. Great performance here by the U.S., bringing a lot of momentum into the World League finals in Krakow, Poland in a few weeks. Then shortly on to Rio de Janeiro for the Olympic Games after that. The U.S. team acknowledges the great Dallas crowd here, on hand to see a great performance by their home American team. Greetings exchanged between the teams after the match. Many of them know each other from the professional club ranks, have played together for many years. Really good performance by the Americans top to bottom. I think their service game was outstanding. Their ace to error ratio was well within what you would expect or what you would like as a coach. Murphy Troy, a very big player in this match, coming in for Matt Anderson to give him some rest, and played very admirably against one of the very best blocks in the world. Micah Christensen ran a great offense, and Max Holt, an absolute star, attacking the ball from the service line, and that spectacular one-on-one stuff block from this set that I think you'll be seeing on the highlight reel after this. Well, that'll just about do it for us here from Dallas, Texas. The USA a 3-0 winner over Russia in the final round of the final match, of the preliminary round of the FIVB World League 2016. Thanks for tuning in. This is Rob St. Clair signing off. Thanks for watching this video. I'd love to hear any of your commentary feedback in the comments section on YouTube. Apologize for any audio issues.
By U.S. head coach John Speraw and Micah Christensen. John, yesterday we talked about what you needed to do to win this match today. How well do you think your team executed that game plan?
I thought we did a really great job, actually. One of the things that Russia does so well is serve the ball, and tonight we passed so well. I think Eric Shoji had a great match, allowed Micah to run the offense exactly as he wanted. So from that perspective, I'm really happy.
And now looking forward to the finals and beyond to Rio, how important are these results now in terms of your preparation for Rio?
These matches are really important for us. It's a really short summer. We typically have the big tournament in September, and this year, obviously, we'll be done by August 22nd, so we don't have much time. The guys are taking advantage of this really well, and obviously our record right now makes us feel really good about how we're going into Rio.
Absolutely. And Micah, yesterday when we spoke and I said, what would it take to go 3-0 with Russia, you kind of pumped the brakes and said, let's not get too ambitious, but here we are. So what was it like for you and your teammates out there today?
It was great. Once again, the crowd was great and brought great energy to us. And like John said, our passing really stepped up tonight, made it really easy on me, Eric Shoji, Taylor Sander, and Aaron Russell. Made my job really easy tonight.
Now, this is the last time that you'll have played on home soil before heading to the Olympic Games. Is that a little bit surreal right now?
Yeah, it hasn't really set in yet. You know, we're really focused on trying to get better and better to go to Rio. So right now, that's really all we're focusing on. It was a great way to go out on American home soil in front of this great crowd.
And what do you think was the most important takeaway from this weekend's matches?
I think a lot of the matches went different ways, and I think we learned that we can win in a couple different ways. And we also exploited some weaknesses that we can get better at, and we're going to have a little training block to get better at those things.
Well, congratulations and best of luck in Rio.
Good insight from those interviews of head coach John Spurod, set of Micah Christensen there. There are your final statistics. USA with a 3-0 win over Russia. Thanks once again for tuning in. Sorry for the premature finish there. Apologize for any audio issues with the microphones, and would love to hear your feedback in the comments. Thanks everyone once again.